We have to redo the levels every single time.
That's the same level we have every time. It sounds exactly the same as it did the last show.
I'd argue with you, but I don't think that you'd see my point of view. But that's all right.
Why don't we start?
I guess I'll persevere. What else choice do I have?
So I was at this loft space downtown. You know how they do the art walk?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they had this little installation. And so they had this little man, it looked like. He was in some type of weird costume. Mm-hmm. And he was crowded around, and there was 4 other artists around him. And then there was 5. And I didn't realize it was actually a gangbang. And they were all just slamming their penises in his mouth. And that's why that little Muppet Beaker can't talk anymore. He just goes, me, me, me.
That's a terrible story. Roll it.
But it's a terrible story.
Whoa. Just cut that one. That was awful. I'm going to do these from now on. Whoa. That had no storytelling. Didn't really go anywhere. Oh, it didn't even have a good ending. It just went dirty and then went awful, That's offensive. Let's just do this. Welcome to TBT time.
Welcome to TBT time, everyone.
It is 3:30.
Oh, we're recording. I didn't know.
How long is that going to play out? It's 3:30 a.m.
It is not 3:30 a.m. It is fucking 10 a.m. in the morning.
Feels like it to me. This is our first morning show.
It is.
Because someone couldn't record last night.
You know what? It was my birthday. My nephew was in town. I was doing family things.
And I was flexible, saying that I could record this morning.
It's true. And by family things, I mean I took him to drag queen bingo. Family.
That's what you do for your family.
That's what you do for your family. Uncle goes. So we're actually, this is the first, we're having coffee this morning.
Yeah, we need it.
It's the first time we're not drinking alcohol in a show. Let's see how this goes. If that story tells you anything, you might want to click off now.
But it's in the morning, so we're going to try to persevere with this thing.
We are going to persevere. We shall overcome.
We're going to go persevere. Persevere.
Persequere. That sounded evil.
We're just going to jump right in.
We're going to jump right in.
Where's my
Let's talk about our okay, so we've got a lot to talk about. This was a Feud is bringing it. This is a great episode.
Very excited.
Let us hear what people said last week.
In our new segment, not a new segment.
Let's just always say new. It's new to
us. In
us.
our new segment.
T for two.
And T
for you.
For you.
Talking about your notes.
For you.
Jake has the comments today. We're going to read them from her phone.
We're going to read them from my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Because nothing is more entertaining than two people recording on a phone, reading off something on a phone. Welcome to 27 Queen.
Hashtag budget. Hashtag budget. All right. Let's talk about, I love this one. This is from, you want to talk about that one?
Yeah. Okay. This is from Christian Broughton, who came with us from our recaps of Riverdale.
Christian brought it. He brought it.
Look at you.
Look at that. It's a pun.
Thank you. You're being so improv-y, grateful today.
I am grateful. Hashtag grateful. Anyway, what did Christian say?
Thank you, Christian. He says, I love Jackie Hoffman. I love the writing on the show, and I love you guys. Oh, we love you. Thank you for coming with us.
We love you, Christian.
On our new venture.
Christian looks cute. Look at their little tie and their shirt.
Christian looks like the way you would dress in college recital your freshman year.
Oh,
you wore vests, though, so...
That's very specific.
They were questionable.
We also have a comment from Icy Blue Sapphire.
Icy Blue Sapphire.
Who says, Anna Mae Bullock, a.k.a. Tina Turner, was born and raised
in... You just said Tina Turner.
Tina Turner was raised in Nutbush, Tennessee.
Nutbush City Limits.
Nutbush, Tennessee. I don't know that song.
You don't know that song.
She's not...
Nutbush. Oh, Nutbush. It's too early for that.
She's not where I thought she was from.
No, it's like Detroit, right?
I think I said Harlem.
That's racist.
I didn't mean it. In my defense, I've heard somebody else say Tina Turner's from Harlan, so that's where I thought she was from.
No, you didn't. You
I
made
did.
it up.
No, I did. I heard it like 7 years ago, and I always thought that's where Tina Turner was from. I just
someone
believe
was fucking
people.
with you.
That's what happens when you believe people. They lie to you. That's what happened.
My mother told me that when I was younger.
Your mother said a lot of things.
She has a lot of wisdom. Like my mother said, son, about 80% of the people you're going to meet in this world are stupid. Wow. I was told that as a child. And you know what? She's kind of been right. She's kind of been right.
Well, I'm glad you just complimented our audience. No,
everyone in the audience is
they're the
smart.
20%.
Exactly.
There are a lot of dumb people in this world.
A lot of dumb people.
I mean, ugh.
Now, we grew up in the South, so there are a lot more dumb people in the South, so maybe that's what she was talking about.
Are they dumb people? Are they dumb or just less? It's this isn't what the show's about.
They're dumb.
Okay.
Anyway, that
our
was T for two.
That was our new segment,
And
T for you, T for you.
You!
Now let's get on with this show, because we've got a...
Because I got to start teaching soon, because I got to pay the rent, okay?
You do. Yes, because as Jake's mentioned many times before, we're not getting paid for this podcast.
I still can't believe it, so I'm okay with it. Here, I'm trying something new. I'm trying, those of you who are on our podcast can't tell, but I'm doing a little Ben-Hur wrap with this shawl.
You're doing a different way to wrap your shawl. It
covers my bosoms.
Now it looks like, it looked better earlier. Now it looks like a swimsuit wrap for like Miss Chattanooga.
70 years old.
Yes.
Miss Senior USA.
Mrs.
USA.
Mrs. Senior.
I always love it when they do Mrs. USA.
I would love to do that.
You'd be a good Mrs. You'd
would
represent us well.
I would represent us well. I'd win.
Bring out your Wonder Woman mixer.
I would. My cousin Lori was a fourth runner at Miss Oklahoma. It's in my blood.
Oh, God, here we go.
It is. She only quit because she wanted to have children. But before that, they said if she would have gone on another one, that she would have won Miss America. When she sang Dolly Parton's I Will Love You, there was not a dry eye in the house. All right.
And that's the end of that segment. All right. Let's jump right into teabags, you guys.
What's your
there
first?
was a lot going on here.
Yes. Are you going to teabag me first? I said it that way, and I regretted it immediately.
If we ever get on television, ever, you can't say things like that.
What? Not if we're on HBO or Showfax.
Showfax.
What's it called?
Yes, Showtime. Showfax is your goddamn... You're such a fucking gross actor. Showfax. For those of you who don't know, Showfax is where you get sides, and all the actors had to download it from this. Everyone heave like a vomit because he's just talked about something was so actory and gross. All right, I'm gonna move on. I'm still trying to digest that. All right, so I want to talk about.
I'm giggly in the morning.
Shut up. Just shut up. No, shut up. I want to talk.
I just want to say I'm giggly like my ass at a.
This is not going nowhere.
Chocolate bar.
That's
I'm
not
talking
appropriate.
About sweet things.
Anyway, I want to talk about. So it happened earlier in the episode. My first is about Joan Crawford getting the poor neighbor girl fired. The little blonde girl. Mm-hmm. When she saw her like acting with the crew, and she said, "My grandmother has loved you since she was a kid." Never say that to a woman.
Say that to an actor.
And it doesn't matter. Just keep your mouth shut. You know how it sounds.
I'm sorry. You're stupid, blonde girl. You're part of that 80%.
She's like, Bob.
You're what?
We have to pack her bags. We have to get this done. So anyway, that it was over after that, and she got then when Bob wouldn't do it, she got Bette Davis to go to Bob.
Yes,
and I don't know, it was a great little set of machinations she like set into things. But I enjoy a good firing.
This is well, I'm going to talk about it now because this is kind of one of my lines, but it's just so because it's the scene where she goes and talks to Bette Davis.
Yes,
and then basically she's talking to Bette Davis about this blonde girl, and Bette Davis is of course like, I don't give a fuck about a young girl. I'm Bette Davis. Why are you threatened by her, Joan? And then Joan totally switches gears she really is the queen of passive aggressiveness, and she switches gears and starts talking.
I've never heard of anything like that.
Yeah, and she starts saying, "Oh, Betty, what you're doing with this character is so fantastic," and the makeup, because Bette Davis is making herself look horrible, and then she says, then she pauses right before she closes the door, and she says, "I have to say, Joan, what you're doing is incredibly brave." That is some fucking shade. That is
so brave. Hashtag so brave.
So brave. So brave. Anyway.
I just love a good firing.
I literally went when she said that. All right. Okay, speaking of Susan Sarandon, my teabag number 2.
Yes.
I want to talk with this is led by, I feel like Susan Sarandon, we've talked about her body language is on point with Bette Davis, but there's been I was reading some stuff on other blogs and forums where people seem either pissed that she's not they feel like Jessica Lange is doing more of a Joan Crawford, and they feel like Susan Sarandon is just being Susan Sarandon, which
I disagree.
But that said, I did hear more Bette Davis in her vocal inflection this episode.
What a dump. Trademark that.
Yeah, I think it's already been trademarked by Bette fucking Davis, not you.
Anyway.
You sound like a nutcracker that has something stuck up his ass.
What a dump.
Anyway, do you agree? Did you notice her voice felt a little different this episode?
I did.
What do you think of Susan Sarandon playing this role? I like the way she's playing it.
I do too. I'm a little.
This is such a gay conversation. This is so gay.
I could straddle both.
Wow,
points of view there. I can understand why people would want to play it, but people are expecting a certain campiness to the character, and because she was a persona, she was a big persona.
Yeah, she was.
But I think she's doing a great job. The way she walks, the way she carries herself, the styling, everything is really appropriate for her.
I think it's a more personable.
I'm okay with it, and I'm okay with a little bit of but yeah, Blanche, yeah, in that chair.
She did say that but I loved again how they used that. This is like,
yes, I just blew my nose.
I'm glad you're blowing your goddamn nose in the middle of the show.
It's the morning.
Do you need to douche while we're here and get ready for a date later? Might as well. Just spray it up there and just bend over and do the show. Do the show while you're laying your head on the floor. We'll wait.
Put on some curlers. Put some curlers in my hair. Hey, if we're doing this in the morning, you're just on my rules.
You know what? You ruined my point. Let's just go on.
Well, you already dropped a story that I wanted you to put in earlier.
I did?
Yes.
What did I want to talk about?
About the firing.
Oh.
Which you couldn't even be bothered to do.
I forgot about that, Joan Crawford, the firing.
Too late. We're already
No,
past
I'm talking about this because I brought it up earlier. The reason why, we're going back to teabag number 1, because the reason why Jake loves Joan Crawford getting that blonde fired, and he wouldn't admit this at first, but the reason why he loves it is because when he worked at the gay bookstore, they call him. Did they call you? They called you Jackie. Which Jackie?
Miss
they called
Jackie.
you Miss Jackie at the bookstore,
or the witch.
There was about a 2-week span where this little twink got hired, and 2 weeks later, the bitch was gone because Jake got her fired.
Well,
what did he do again?
I came in one night and I had on.
This is why I love Joan Crawford.
Just a camo print shirt and just like a pair of pants with a little tiny pinstripe, little tiny. You could barely see it.
Mm-hmm.
And the little twink walked up to me and said, "What happened? Did you get dressed in the dark?" And I just kind of stared at him. Was like, and other people kind of looked in the store. Jeffrey. I can remember it. Not because I cast any spell on him and put some chicken bones on the floor, but he might as well have.
I
just kind of stared at him, and then everyone in the store is like, "Uh-oh."
And then that's all I heard about for fucking 2 weeks.
So then,
every day.
So he had a couple other problems. Meth addiction. No, that was. Anyway. I just kind of whispered in the manager's ear, because I was the more valuable employee, that he's not really doing good work here. And so I got all my other employees against him as well.
Was he actually doing good work?
He was a twink who worked at a bookstore. What's good work?
At the gay bookstore.
Yeah, you move shit around and use the register.
And he couldn't do that very well?
He was okay. No one actually did a good job. They were there to go out to Mickey's later on. You know, what do you do? I was there just because I wanted to work around books. And I could use the bookstore to hook up with people afterwards.
There we are. So you whispered in your
hours.
manager ear that he wasn't doing a good job.
And he was gone within a week.
Wow.
Sorry.
Didn't you also say that he was...
Sometimes we have to do things as women.
Didn't you also say that he was using again?
No, that was someone else.
Wow. Okay. Well, moral of the story, don't work with this
Don't
queen.
work at the gay bookstore.
Thank you for reminding me of that. Because I wanted to call you on it. I appreciate that. All right. Go
Anyway.
on to your tea bag.
Where am I? Where am I?
Tea bag number 2.
Oh, I know what it is. I love all the film clips.
Oh, those are
that they're
great.
showing like all the old black and white.
Yes.
Like, there was a couple that Joan Crawford had. My favorite was with Bette Davis in The Little Foxes. When Susan Sarandon's face / Bette Davis, she's like this, and she's watching her husband die at the end because she won't help him to get his medicine, and she's like this. For the podcast listeners, I just did a really good Bette Davis face. It kind of looked like an orgasm.
I want you to define really good and define what your orgasm looked like. Because to me, that looked like, you know, like when a baby has a lemon for the first time and they just are completely, just don't know, their senses are overloaded. That's what it looked like to me.
Anyway, it's. I love the film clips.
It's great.
We like it.
They're showing, what is the movie where she says, what a dump? They showed that movie.
What is that? I don't know.
Then they also showed some clips with Joan Crawford.
Clint, tell us what that movie is.
Oh,
I guess we could record it.
That was a your move where Joan Crawford was in that film. She's like, can someone just get an exec? What is this about? What are we doing? That is Jake Anthony.
Someone tell me what this movie's about.
I mean, oh. All right.
I've said that a lot.
You've said that a lot.
I've been on shows, and I'm like, what is this even about?
It's true. It's true.
One person, a grip.
And
tell me what this is
Lindsay
about.
Lepper hears you say, I don't understand one more time. I think she would.
I don't understand what my character is doing here.
I think Lindsay would throw a table. All right.
Your turn.
Okay, I really like the scene. This is a little bit hearkening to the voiceover of Kathy Bates and Olivia de Havilland.
Who plays John Blundell.
Yeah, John Blundell and Olivia de Havilland, played by Cathy Zeta-Jones, who I love.
And they're filming at the Dorothy Chandler. And it looks the same today
does.
with
It
those
looks
gold pillows and gold couches.
If you live in Los Angeles and you haven't been to the Dorothy Chandler
it's
Pavilion,
gorgeous.
You're missing out.
And it's also very like 1970s solid gold realness.
It is beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
But I really thought they did a great job, you know, because a lot of people know that Bette Davis and Joan Crawford had a feud, but we don't know why. A lot of it. We just knew that it. And so she did this great, in like a succinct minute of just describing how Joan Crawford literally was sold like a fucking cow meat
That's the way
property,
it used to be, yeah.
sold from MG or let go.
Or they were
from MGM.
traded, and it was really gross.
And she was kicked out and then bought by Jack Warner, who we later find out is just a
terrible,
wonderful person at Warner Brothers. How Jack Warner bought her literally at bargain basement prices, and literally they're just at the mercy of whatever man executive to do whatever they tell them to do. And being so that
welcome the women's movement.
Yeah, and she explains how Bette Davis was just kind of starting to drift at MGM or at Warner Brothers, so Jack Warner literally started to pit them together.
Yep. And mess with each other to see who could kind of outdo the other. And when one would start slipping, he would give more roles to the other.
Like, I didn't know Mildred Pierce was given to Bette Davis.
I didn't either.
Yeah, that was new information to me. I would want to talk to the historian of this show.
Information to you.
Yes. Can you imagine the historian on
the
this show?
Old
That is
queen with an ascot.
Yes, that's like, who taught our opera class?
Pearl earrings.
What's the one who wrote the
Michael.
stick it up the butt cheeks, stick it up my butt cheeks? Who talked about We once had an
That
old
is an opera queen.
He's an opera queen where we studied school, and he was trying to get us trying to help us remember a rhythm of a certain, and it was like ba 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 ba. And he just said randomly, "This man's like 70. He's probably dead now."
To a college
He's
class.
like 78 years old at the time, and he just goes,
Stick it up my butt
"Stick it up my
cheeks.
butt cheeks. Stick it up my butt cheeks." Ricky
So you can
Darting
imagine-
died. That's when she fell in love with him. Boy, she loves gay men. That is a big hag.
Anyway,
What was his name? Mr.
Michael
Collins.
Michael Collins.
Miss Dr. Collins. Where is that queen? I want her to come on this
I'm
show.
sure she's alive.
She would be fun.
She would be fun.
Yeah, because she was actually only in her 60s.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Heiberg. He passed away, right?
He did, but recently passed away.
All right, I spilled coffee on my notes. Keep going.
All right. I want to talk about. This is my next teabag is a scene that did not happen with Bette Davis or Joan Crawford, and it was the scene with Bob Aldrich and his wife. And she was the one who played like the kind of dykey cop on First Watch or some cop show, Law and Order, SV,
First
Cop Watch,
Blues, Blue Time, Blues Clues. Somebody should make a detective series
Watch
of Blues.
Me Cop.
Somebody should make a detective series of Blue and call it Blues Clues. But it's like Blues Clues meets SVU. Like it's just Blues Clues
Blues
getting like
Clues.
raped and killed, and we have to figure out the clues.
Okay.
I'm
Okay,
saying-
everyone. I guess the morning is a time we talk about horrible things.
You know what? That is a sketch.
No, it's not. No one likes to talk about sexual violence and Blues Clues.
People love SVU. Arishka
I do
Hargitay
too.
would do that.
But I don't want animated characters in it.
Bum bum.
Does he bark? I never watched
Yeah.
Blues Clues. Oh, I just know the guy who
He's in a rock band
did
now,
it. Yeah,
Steve.
said we had creative differences. I'm sorry, you just show up and do your fucking job, and you made a lot of money.
He did.
Creative differences.
Creative
Fuck,
differences.
I would sit there and look at a mushroom and talk about kabuki theater if I got paid a lot of money.
Creative differences mean you'd rather jack off than go to your job.
Exactly.
That's a lot of people's job.
So my favorite, getting back to the scene, he's there talking with his wife, and you know about the women, and he said, "I'm going to pit them against each other." Leaking she's like, you know, even though it's not the truth, it's still going to hurt.
Yes, even though you're not telling the truth, it's going to hurt.
And that's when she's like, you know, and I know about blah blah blah, your mistress, blah blah
She's
blah.
like, I know about Becky with the good hair.
That's where Becky and the good hair came from.
That's actually where it comes from.
Little known fact. And so she's kind of the unsung hero of this episode.
She is. Well, she really.
Becky, not Molly is her name, I think.
She's like the voice in a voice cries out in the wilderness.
Okay, we're going to move on.
That's what she's like.
What's your
She's
next
like-
teabag?
My teabag number 3, it is the scene where, with Jack and Bob, with and Stanley Tucci.
Judy,
Stanley
about Jack
Tucci.
and Diane.
I'd say
Sorry.
Bob. But Stanley Tucci is killing it as Jack. They say fuck a lot in this show.
They
I'm
do.
good for
I
them.
love it.
Good for you, FX. Fuck.
Network television.
Yes, it's about time.
Fuckity fuck. It's early.
That was rough.
I know.
Wow. So this is a scene where we really see Jack Warner and Bob Aldrich, the director. Because see, Bette Davis and Joan Crawford, they weren't getting along as they were just using each other's relationship to get what they wanted. But anyway, because they had to, because even women who didn't like each other, which still happens now, have to work together against men. But really back then.
And they're setting it up like a cat fight.
They are. And so Jack Warner's like,
really super misogynist.
Yeah, it was incredible to me. Even though I knew this happened, it still actually made me sick in my stomach to see literally Jack Warner tell
almost
Bob
for
Aldrich.
sport.
Yes, like for the fun of it, you have to have these women go at each other like a fucking dog fight.
Yeah, it's gross.
It was I mean, wonderfully done, but disgusting.
Agreed.
Women have gotten the short end of the stick. I don't know if anybody's ever said that before.
I think that's a very brave thing to say.
You know what? That is the first time someone said that.
Sometimes you have to take a stand.
I am taking a stand for women.
Women have had it a little rough.
We should make an International Women's Day and start it.
I've heard someone say that the future is female.
You know what? That's good. You should copyright that.
I should get that on a shirt.
I am a woman.
Hear me roar. We still don't know the words of that song.
All right, what's your tea
Helen
bag?
Reddy. My next one is okay.
We've got one bar left,
This
so
is
the battery might go out. Keep going.
No one cares. This is a huge, huge subject. And it is the fact that Judy Davis wore 3 hats in this episode. 3! One was like this kind of weird, like, watermelon/ruffle thing.
It was.
The second was a huge black feather that just, like, slooped over her.
It
like
literally...
this, like a little tongue licking her.
It was like the top of Big Bird, but
It
black.
is. And the third was my favorite, which was kind of like a dandelion on top, but it was all white feathers. And Judy Davis was giving her best drunk face, which is like...
Judy Davis is a national Australian treasure.
She may be my second or third favorite thing about this show. Just because she's in it and she's chewing the scenery and she loves it. And
she loves it.
Oh, she loves it too. So,
and it's so great.
Judy Davis, come on our show. You will never.
She will never.
No.
Again,
we love you.
It's just what
You're making some little boy in Montana gay. And,
she is.
you know,
good for you.
Yeah.
Good
Sorry.
for
Parents, you shouldn't be letting that child watch this show.
You shouldn't.
But regardless, you know, I approve.
He's a Mary now.
Amen.
Amen.
Hallelujah.
I forgot what I was going to say. Let's move on.
Anyway, we love Judy Davis.
Love Judy
we love
Davis.
Hedda Hopper. Love the character. We saw
I know
more
what
of her.
I was going to say. You know, with this episode did such a great job of having in the 70s listening to the documentary. Even they were talking about how nothing's changed now a little bit. Such a good job of we see so many strong women and what they're having to do, what Hedda Hopper's having to do, just to get ahead.
Because she was a failed actress.
Yes, exactly.
But she said, now this is what I do.
But she and that she's writing dirt about fucking Joan Crawford's tits.
Yeah.
Like that's like the basest. It wasn't even like good gossip. It was literally 13-year-old middle school bullshit. And that this show's just well written.
Yep.
It's doing well. Okay, so my next tea bag is. So it's the last scene where we're not sure, but I think it kind of tells us next week. I'm pretty sure that Bette Davis and Bob Aldrich were. I was just going to do that. We are linked.
Oh. Okay, I just grossed out myself.
Wow.
It's early.
Why did I sound like a Cabbage Patch Shop? That is what I sound like when I have sex.
Oh! Stop.
No, it's not. Okay.
No, I don't care. Go on.
But so they had sex, but
We think.
but also too, is Robert Aldrich, Bob Aldrich, the director, is he comforting Bette Davis, or is Bette Davis actually taking control back with sex? Because that is the one thing I feel like that women could always kind of get on top, per se, no pun intended.
And Joan
But it's with
Crawford
sex.
later on tries to do it as well.
It shows she sleeps with. We see that Jack Warner probably fucked her.
Yeah.
Remember, and when she just moved over to MGM,
She talked about her scenes during Autumn Leaves with Bob Aldrich.
yes, and so she started. So
They use sex.
So what do you think? Do you think Bette Davis was playing the poor martyr, or do you think she was taking control?
I'm going to straddle that topic and say that the truth lies somewhere in between.
Her legs.
Yes.
I think more she was taking control back, because
Anyway.
also knowing that the next movie
think
that
she's a
Bette
very-
Davis was with Bob Aldrich.
Yeah,
and
but I think she's a very lonely person too, and I think she was that was the he was that gets me to my next tea bag is that these women are lonely and isolated. These two women, because they are kind of pinnacles of what they've established. At the same time, but mostly they're isolated because of their ambition and how they always say they've been written about it with women. You have to be you either have to be the sweetie or you have to be the bitch, and both these women got called that. And they're trying to play the game, and they're kind of not apologizing for it. And so that makes them isolated. And also, they're women who are older. They're 50s, women in their 50s. And in the 1960s, to be an actress in your 50s was not a kind thing. No. And I just love this show.
Love this show.
God.
Can you imagine feeling isolated because of your talent? I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know either. Have people be jealous of you?
Wouldn't know.
What's your last one?
My last one, well, really, we have the same last. We were going to have this take up 2 tea bags, but you just totally forgot this.
Oh, okay.
So I'm glad you fucked it up.
I'll
now.
piggyback on it.
Fine. So this is worth like 5 tea bags, but the scene where Bob Aldrich and Bette Davis are rehearsing, "I've written a letter to Daddy." That was.
And he's doing the movements.
He's doing the movements with her.
And then he takes his foot
when he takes
and
her
kind of
foot,
moves
when he
it.
takes her foot,
I
moves
clutched my pearls.
I did.
I went.
Too.
Ooh.
I was like, "What is that?" Because what Bette Davis is like, "You're not going to make me look stupid. You're not going to."
And the most. She looks at him really, really pathetically and says, "You won't make me look ridiculous, will you?" And my heart just melts. Anyway, so he's showing her the movements, and then the camera just goes in on her hands at the end, and you know they've had this moment, and you know that that's going to be something special when they film it. And that's my favorite scene so far. And now we've only seen 2 episodes.
No, that's my favorite scene. I wonder if they're, because I'm noticing they're almost showing the pivotal scenes of the movie that we talked about. Like they show the "But You Are Blanche" scene. They showed that like in the dailies when Jack, and we saw it, but they were practically talking over it.
Yes.
So I'm wondering, in this, instead of recreating these magical moments from the movie, if Ryan Murphy, they kind of feel like we're not going to be able to recreate what the movie did, but showing the behind the scenes of what that was like building up to that.
I don't think it's about the movie. I think it's...
No, but I mean, I think that's what I'm saying. I think they're making a stylistic choice of we're not just going to redo the scenes from what happened to Baby Jane.
I don't think we'll see...
It's really well done.
I don't think we'll see many of the scenes. I don't think
we're going to see her singing "Written a Letter to Daddy."
Let's hope not. I think we've already seen the most important part.
Exactly. That's what I think that they're showing. I loved it.
Okay, those were our tea bags.
Those were our tea.
I want to talk about our... Stop. God damn it.
I had that coffee and we had a donut.
Our quotables.
I had to give him sugar so he'd wake the fuck up.
Our strong tea.
Strong tea, big portions. I don't remember what this section's called. What's it called?
Something like quotables. Did I say quotables?
Strong
tea.
Whatever.
Something.
It's strong tea. It's fucking
it's
quotes. Okay, just fucking listen.
Okay, here's my favorite. I'll start out with some. They're all Bette Davis, I feel like, except for one. So Bette Davis says, "I don't need subtext, Bob. I need good texts. Don't do me doing Bette Davis."
I was agreeing with you. I like that line.
Fine.
Why can't we like the same line?
But you are doing your impression. Was like you were impersonating me doing Bette Davis.
Yeah, because yours is really authentic and really hits the mark.
All right, and then what's your next one? I'll go because we're behind.
No, mine is. It's not even. Mine is not even a line.
Here we go.
It's when Bette Davis is watching. They're fighting, and you just see Bette Davis's hand stretch out, and she's just motioning like that. You know, kind of how like
a cigarette.
Yeah, a girl brings her a cigarette. You know how kind of
like a cigarette girl.
You know how kind of like you do to like little Latinos in Rage. You just go like this, and they just come to you. Come to me. Whatever it
What if we just did that for 30 minutes?
Someone would watch it.
Nix, would you watch us do that for 30 minutes?
I don't think Nix would. I don't think Nix would. Anyway, what's your next line?
My next one is, so after the line about Bette Davis has been leaked about her being old enough to be Joan Crawford's mother, she pulls up when her car screeches, and this reporter, who is my friend Veronica, I just fucking dropped a name. That's
wow. That's worse than show facts.
That's as gross as you being like, oh, I want to give it facts. But so she says, "Miss Davis, what do you think about the gossip column?" And she says, "What's your name, sweetheart?" She says, "Sylvia." Fuck off, Sylvia.
That was
it.
You know what? That reminded me of my grandma Hazel Jean.
Here we go.
No, that's all I'm going to say. Just reminded me of
And her
Hazel
jet
Dean.
black hair.
Well, it ended up blonde. She only dyed jet black for my cousin Kevin's wedding.
There we are.
But it did remind me of the time that my Grandma Hazel found out that her husband, Andrew, A.W., was cheating on her. And she walked over to his mistress's house and beat her chin off with a chili can. That's the
That
truth.
did not happen.
She did.
No one.
She did it while her kids watched in the Buick. Hit her with a chili can on the chin. We laugh about it now.
I guess you can laugh about domestic violence after
what?
it's done.
I think my grandma was Bette
we're going to
Davis.
have to talk about this afterward because I've got to hear more details about where she got a chili can.
Okay.
So
hold on. I've
anyway.
got my quotable. I got one more and then we're done.
Well, I'm just trying to carry on with that because that's all I want to discuss now. But keep going.
Well, so I love it when so the news comes out where Joan Crawford called Luella Parsons after Bette Davis's thing about her boobs leaked with Hedda Hopper. She calls Luella Parsons, who's also a gossip columnist, and she leaks some shit about Bette Davis. And then that comes out, and then Bette Davis goes to Joan Crawford's dressing room, and she's telling her, she's kind of confronting her, and Joan Crawford's like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about at all. And basically Bette Davis says, while you're taking a shit of butterflies and moonbeams, I'm going to steal this picture from you. See, I didn't mind that you echoed my quote. I liked it. I thought it was effective.
It's because I did it with style.
But you know what? Shade is shade. And
Shade is shade.
Shade is shade, and somebody have words, but for someone to shade you with their talent, that's another level. I've seen this one do that to people. I literally have seen this one do that to people.
Speaking of shade,
that's my quote.
And shading with talent, I have one more.
Okay.
It's come from Joan Crawford, and she said when she and her blonde Twinkie he came in from Palm Springs, and she says, Gary, I think it's time to recast. And that is going to be the best way to break up with someone ever.
Ever.
And that is what I'm going to say from now on.
Which is so true. That's what Joan Crawford really thought about. I really do think that Bette Davis was in this for the work, and Joan Crawford was really in this for the
fame.
stardom. Yeah, for the fame.
I think she liked being
I think she liked being an actor, yeah.
But yeah, I think she probably got to where...
She loved being herself more.
Well, I think that is
it.
That is our early morning.
It was even a little bit of a longer show. It went fine. Maybe we should start doing these in the morning.
No. All
Why?
right. So anyway, watch us next time. It'll be next Sunday. Or next Sunday is the
next
Feud.
Sunday is a
So
Feud.
Monday, catch us Monday.
Riverdale is on break right now until March 3rd.
We're going to have some special nuggets for you.
Special nuggets that we're going to figure out still.
So,
but it's going to be amazing.
See you guys soon, and I'm going to hear about this chili can.
Wait,
that
no.
hit someone in the face.
You know what? If you leave a review on iTunes.com,
we're going to talk about the chili can.
We're going to talk about the chili can. You know what? Maybe if you leave a review, we won't talk about the chili can. Maybe you don't want to hear it. But yes, go to iTunes. Go to iTunes, leave a review of this show or of our Riverdale podcast if you're listening to that. Go to tvtime.com, and that's where you can find out all things about us. But really, do leave a review.
Leave us a review, please.
All right, everybody. Have a good week. Bye.
Bye.